to run that bass drum.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode, in fact, episode 6 of the Vaccinated Variable Venereal Vixen podcast. I am VT, your host for this one, doing it solo, and this week had some interesting stuff, some good reveals. Shouldn't be too long. Most of it was pretty much just announcements. There's not a whole lot of, controversial or, really hot topic discussion stuff. Just some good stuff that you guys should really be aware of. And so let's get right into it. First off, there are a lot of fans of this series. Assassin's Creed has been really taking off clearly over the past few years. There's 5 games out for it now, and we just got word that the rumors are true, there's going to be a 6th game in the series, Assassin's Creed 4, go figure, Black Flag, all about pirates, which, pretty awesome. The rumor says that it's stated for October 29th. Pretty sure that that's actually true, legit. I got an inside source that says, yeah, that's real. For 360, Wii U, PS3, and PC, and also going to be out for next-gen consoles, which is awesome because Assassin's Creed always looks good, and put it on the next-gen console, it's going to be so much better on there. Going to be a lot of fun. Interesting to see how that release date plays out, though. Not going to lie. I mean, October 29th, it's probably, I'm just going to say it, for the not next-gen consoles, and it might come out a little bit later for the other ones. But, I mean, do you want to pick it up beforehand, or you want to wait? Are you going to grab the console? If I was really into that series, that would be my main predicament. I'd probably wait for the next gen console because, might be better. But also, is there going to be online with Assassin's Creed 4? They've been sort of integrating that with Assassin's Creed Revelations and Brotherhood. They have that online, matching system on there, that matchmaking. And it's a lot of fun. I played the beta for it. It was great. I personally don't even own an Assassin's Creed game, even though I've played them all. Not beaten them all, but played them all. They're a lot of fun. And it'd be interesting to see if that, at least within each company, like PS3, PS4, if it has online, if they will be able to interact with each other. Very, very cool. So keep an eye out for that. October 29th. Get your pre-orders in, as soon as you can. As soon as GameStop or whoever lets you, Amazon's probably on the ball already. They usually are, but definitely sweet. I think it plays really well into what's going on. Some people are like, "Oh, pirates! Wow, that's so unoriginal." I'm like, well, you know what? Compared to where it is, Assassin's Creed 3 had the whole Indian thing going on, Native American. Excuse me. Pirates follows that actually really well, and in my sense of a timeline, I'm not a history major. I got nothing in that area. But I think it fits really well. I think it's going to be a nice, smooth transition as they keep the series going. Yeah, they're milking the shit out of it, but they're making bank off it. It's a smart business decision. Might as well go for it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Definitely awesome. Other exciting news, at least it's on the top of my list because it's a little personal favorite. We got word a while back that Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix, it's a mouthful, was going to be released in Japan, which is, something that has come up in the past podcasts about Square Enix really needing to go back to some of their other franchises, just leave Final Fantasy alone, all those mistakes in Final Fantasy 13-3 and all that shit, and focus on the other stuff. So, got word officially that Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD Remix is coming to North America this fall, which is awesome. In case you didn't know, it includes 358 over 2 days, Rechain of Memories, and Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Now, for some of you that sort of know what's going on with Kingdom Hearts and sort of don't, it's a crazy mixed storyline, and there are plenty of different games out for it. 358 over 2 days was originally a DS game that came out a while ago. It was one of those, just side stories that somehow contributes to the story, sometimes doesn't. It's really weird. But so they're re-releasing that for PlayStation 3, as well as Rechain of Memories, which is another that came out around the same time. Side story. It's Rechain of Memories is sort of the bridge between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, where 358 over 2 days was more so just backstory beneficial to Kingdom Hearts 2, I suppose. And then it used a different, very different card system, which is really cool. I liked. I'm really curious, though, because the original Re-Chain Memories was on the Game Boy Advance. Now, with the Game Boy Advance, there was also multiplayer. One of the few Kingdom Hearts, well, actually I shouldn't say that because a lot of the one on the handhelds did become multiplayer. It had replay value and shit. But one of the few Kingdom Hearts multiplayer that I actually got to use and enjoyed quite a bit. And with the PS2 remake of Re-Chain Memories, they didn't have that, obviously. I would love to see that come in fruition somehow online, which isn't going to happen, into the PS3. I think it would be really sweet. Definitely would, I mean, I'm going to grab this thing anyway, but definitely would add that almost nostalgic and, you know, a bonus to buying it again, because this would be like the third time I've bought it. And Kingdom Hearts Final Mix was originally released in Japan only for a short while, and it was really hard to find, and there's just a little bit extra to it. I mean, obviously these are all going to be in English and all that, but there was a little extra to the end. There are a few new monsters, some new weapons and stuff like that, some new side quests. Just really cool that they have enough extra gameplay to call it its own different game. And they're releasing it for America, finally, because I remember looking at this and wanting to just play that so bad, because there's just some really cool extra stuff in there. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys that are fans. Just pick it up. You won't regret it. And what's really awesome, actually, is this is all supposed to be more than just a facelift. Like, you know how they have those HD remake games, which aren't really remakes. First thing that jumps to mind is Monster Hunter Portable 3rd HD remake for PS3, which was basically a crock of shit, because all the environment was just crap, like most Monster Hunter games. And then the monsters and armor were just sort of made better, I guess. This is supposed to be a complete redo, like from the ground up, with HD graphics, which would be awesome. They're supposed to also do this for Final Fantasy X HD or 10 HD, which, you know, we've talked about that in the past, of how that apparently looks really good. Well, this would make more sense, you know, giving that more truth in the statement, saying that, yeah, they actually rebuilt it from the ground up, making it look amazing. And that would definitely, that's the way that we need to go with all this stuff. Really sweet. Keep an eye out for that. Sometime this fall. No official date, no official price. 3 games, remakes. I don't know if it's going to be a full 60. Not really sure about that. I'm thinking actually about 40 or 50. But again, we'll wait and see. Definitely gonna be great. Another, just a random thing to throw in here. Kind of cool, relating to all the consoles at least. Netflix now is offering Super HD streaming to PS3, Wii U, and like other devices like your phone and tablet and shit. And of course 360 is coming later. I think they're a little upset about the whole Redbox thing, but you know, that happens. But Super HD, what? I don't even understand what the fuck that is, because HD looks damn good. Maybe if you have like a 60-inch TV and HD just, you know, doesn't look that great, Super HD will fix that. I got nothing, but if you love watching movies and shit and you haven't got Netflix, that might be more incentive, so keep an eye out for that. Dishonored this week got some, you know, there's a while ago with Dishonored, they said, okay, we're going to have 3 DLC packs minimum for it. They already released one. It was the Dunwall Trials, which was really awesome. Check my channel for some of that. But they just released some new information on it, and it's just basically a new trophy list. And you'll see that I'll put the trophy list in the description in case you want to check it out. But really what it's hinting to is there's new missions titled The Other Side of the Coin. So it's basically, and all the trophies pretty much seem like it's another story, which is what they said. There's nothing official yet, but I remember back when they were saying these things, that you might be able to get to play as Dowd, who's like one of the main, like he's the main bad guy, spy boss. So total badass to begin with. He has all the same powers pretty much as the main character in Dishonored does, Corvo. So definitely really cool to see that, and see what the other side of the coin, get it, is going to really be like. So keep an eye out for that. Again, there's no like official release date or price yet, but just that something else is coming out for it is really cool, and I'm really excited for it. I love Dishonored. If you haven't grabbed it, you should. I believe it's a little bit cheaper now, especially if you get it on PC. But it's a lot of fun. It's basically a first-person Assassin's Creed when it comes down to it, with superpowers, naturally. Some new things that are coming out for the Vita, some new apps, and to be honest, not too excited for them. I'm glad they're supporting the Vita. Sony is a little bit, but it just seems like they just have nothing up their sleeve, and they're just throwing shit out there, whatever they can. Until the PS4 really kicks off, there's Soul Sacrifice coming out, which is going to be cool, but Vita is still falling, sort of flat on its face, which is really sad. But there's 2 new apps coming sometime in spring. The first one is like it's called Friend Network, I think, something like that. Apparently it's big in Japan, so it probably means it's not going to be big here at all. I don't know. I don't really like it. It ties in with that whole, you're making the game more personal, people to see into your life. And basically what it is your goal is to reach 100 friends. And it helps you make new friends across this network, and you can organize your friends, and Twitter and Facebook are all connected to it. So you can see into your gamers' friends' lives and make friends off of their friends, which just doesn't, I don't know. I think for the most part, shit like that needs to be kept separate, and it's just weird, just very weird. And maybe I'll see what everyone's doing, and sometimes I don't care. I don't need another app for that. If I want to see what my friends are doing, I'm going to go to Twitter or Facebook. If I want to make new friends, I'm going to go out, find people, go to a bar or something. Not look around on my goddamn Vita. Just odd. The other one is, I'm going to butcher the hell out of this. Imagine Instruments. Imagine Instruments. And it's a music app. Another one for making your own music on the Vita. We have Sound Shapes. Buy that. Don't use this app. Just calling it right now. There's 5 to 10 other music apps out there, and they all suck balls. Soundshapes is legit. It's tits. Grab that. Ignore this thing. It's going to be stupid. I shouldn't have even mentioned it, so you guys look out for it. Those music apps they're just crap. They really are. If you're going to be a DJ or something, you want to make music, just buy software for your PC and mix shit. Don't mess around with this stuff. It's really stupid. Just random announcement again in here again. The PlayStation 4 is going to have cross-game chat. Confirmed by Sony. Awesome. We've been waiting, 5 years minimum for this cross-game chat stuff. Xbox has had it forever, but finally Sony's on the ball. Vita has it, for the matter of fact. So it's not really surprising that the PS4 is going to have it, but it's just nice to know that it's getting out there. It is a big deal. It isn't a big deal. I don't know how often you're going to use it. I'll probably use it a lot because I have plenty of friends on there. It'd be definitely easier to just talk to them through there than try and call them up and balance that shit. But, for the most part, it's probably not going to get used by a lot of people just because we haven't had it. Really, if you have a PS3, you've never, used it at all. And if that's the only console you have, you're just not used to it. So, whatever. But keep an eye out for that functionality. And, it's just showing that, yes, the PS4 is powerful. And, yes, we can do that stuff finally. Great. Very good. Glad to hear it. Moving on, really. It's nothing huge. Should be there, Should have been on the PS3, but it wasn't. Some really interesting stuff, actually. A while back, if you recall on my podcast, THQ went under, and they're responsible for Darksiders and many other games, of course. And a few of the studios actually did not get bought out, meaning essentially, theoretically, that their games would no longer, be produced. And so finally we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel here through this whole darkness deal of, a game company going out, which is just terrible. THQ is auctioning off some of their IPs in May, so a lot of games that weren't bought with their companies and all that. So Darksiders, Red Faction, Homework, MX, as well as other, miscellaneous owned software, mini games, and stuff like that. That's all going to be auctioned off in May, which is great. Because that means, hopefully, that means that we're going to be able to see some of these games develop over the next few years, and we'll be able to see them come back into fruition. Definitely good, but not cheap, obviously. So that is not a good thing. Obviously, Darksiders is going to be huge price to buy that IP, just crazy huge, which is good because, it is good and bad. I think it's good personally because that means that a company that has that money that's going to make a game good is going to be able to buy it. It's bad because it really narrows the buying window, or the buying opportunities. But it's really good. We got to wait to see what happens with it. Hopefully all of the IPs and everything is bought out so that all these games can continue, because the more games the better, period. You can't argue that. Just hopefully they get taken over by, or they get bought out by a decent game company that's going to do the series and the games justice. That's really my main concern, and I don't think it'll really be an issue, but there is that chance, and there is that chance that they don't get bought out, and that would really be sad, because I would love to see Dark Sides and Red Faction and many of these other games continue to exist basically. So definitely pay attention to what's going on with those games later in quarter 2, towards the end of quarter 2. Something that's really interesting recently, EA made an announcement that they're trying to bring micro in-game transactions to all of their games. And that's very interesting. EA is responsible for just tons of different games. If you've ever had any minor game collection, you've had an EA game in there, for sure. And what micro in-game transactions are, in case you don't know, are basically little opportunities inside of a game to buy like power-ups, bonuses, unlocks, stuff like that, with real currency, obviously, with US dollars or wherever you live, Zimbabwe, Zeni or something. Well, that sounds actually pretty legit, Zimbabwe Zeni. But yeah, so you can buy these things through the game. They help you out and they stick with you. They may not stick with you. It just depends on what it is. But it's not bought with in-game currency. It's bought with real money. And this is supposed to be brought to all of their games. Now that says something. That says they want money. Just makes sense completely. But it also says that, okay, we're going to sort of separate and segregate our gamers. And I'm sure they're not trying to do this on purpose, but obviously that happens. You have the people that don't have credit cards or debit cards or something like that can't buy these things in-game. And is it going to affect their gameplay? Probably not, unless it's an online multiplayer game that you can buy things for. That's always been my outlook on it, is yes, PC games do this all the time with MMOs. You can level up this way, you can get these things, or you can put some extra money in and get like times 2 XP for an X period or X amount of time, unlock certain weapons, stuff like that, and that really separates the people there, because people with the money, they usually can advance a lot faster and whoop your ass, is really what it ends up being. Now, that's really only going to be a problem if it's online multiplayer, if they have something that drastic in there, depending on what game it is. Like I said, it's going to be for all games that they want to do this in, so you're probably going to see it pop up somewhere in there. Now, for single player, I think it's a really cool idea. If you're having a hard time in like any sort of single player game, you can pay for more lives to get through. Something like that. If you're just completely stuck, or hey, I need this weapon earlier, I'm going to drop $2, get it now instead of 8 levels later, and that'll help me out a lot. I think for something like, if EA took this microtransaction thing and added it into a game like Skyrim or any big RPG, just in general, that would be phenomenal. I think it would work extremely well. And I mean, we've already seen that sort of happen in past RPGs, mainly on PC, of course. But really, I'm a little concerned because, again, with the whole online multiplayer thing, I really want to see this mainly stick to single player, keeping it fair and just keeping it, more well-rounded. And that way, of course, you don't have the people who are just giving excuses like, oh, he just bought that, which I will be one of them. But really cool. So definitely keep an eye out for that and see how that really develops and when it starts to develop in the games. If you buy an EA game, in a year or something, I'm sure it'll be in there. You'll have options. Save up. In the more news of some DLC, as I said earlier, with Dishonored getting some DLC announced. PlayStation All Stars is still running strong. They just got 2 new characters and a new level announced for DLC, which again is awesome. It was really scary to see Sony let Superbot go, but thankfully Santa Monica Studios and Sony are still working to keep this game afloat, even though it flopped. In all honesty, yes, we've brought that up before. It has flopped. The new characters, of course, are Isaac Clarke from Dead Space and Zeus from God of War. Now, this is interesting because Isaac Clarke I can definitely see. He's a big staple now. Dead Space 3 is really big, and a lot of people love the Dead Space series. But Zeus from God of War, like, I get it. Zeus is a badass. He's the main villain. We have Radek, who's another main villain. But I would rather see them branch out and get more variety of games than start to repeat into games that they already have incorporated into PlayStation All-Stars. Now, don't get me wrong, Zeus is going to be a really sweet character. He's going to be a lot of fun. Apparently, he's a really hard hitter. All his attacks can charge, or at least almost all of his attacks can charge. And he's, a little slower, so that apparently balances him out. He gets a lot of AP buildup, much like Kratos. But again, like, it just feels like, okay, we've hit the end of the road, now we're going back to cycle through and get these other characters in from games that we wanted to incorporate, but we don't. There's like tons of other games out there that they could get. Number one option, in my mind, Nathan Hale. Grab Nathan mother frickin' Hale from Resistance series. You have all these Resistance, Resistance Fall Man, Resistance 2, Resistance 3 icons and backgrounds in the game. They just added a free Chimera avatar, or not avatar, minion, but you don't have Nathan Hale or a playable Chimera character, any playable character from Resistance. Like, that just doesn't make sense, because Resistance was the biggest game when the PlayStation launched, or around the launch window at least. Like, I bought my PS3 for Resistance Fall Man. I know everyone I know actually bought it for Resistance Fall Man. Why can't they include him in there? I don't understand that. I'm sure there's some sort of legal thing they can't get rights to it or something, maybe, but I don't see Insomniac being complete douches like that, since they already gave out Ratchet and Clank as well. I don't know. Isaac, yes, great. He's supposed to be, also, for your little background, a medium speed character who does more mid-range stuff, which makes sense since he has a lot of guns and stuff. So, I don't know. I really want to see someone else besides Zeus. I'll still buy it and play him. It'll be great, but nonetheless. The new stage is a really cool mashup, actually. Very original, which I'm pretty impressed on. It's a mix between Medieval, the first level of Medieval from PlayStation 1, and Unfinished Swan, which, if you don't know, Unfinished Swan is a new game, much like Journey, a very artistic form there, where the world is white, and as you progress through it, ink blots make the world exist. So it's going to flash between this graveyard, cemetery, really dark, kind of corny feel, to this bright white stage that slowly gets built through the time by adding ink and stuff to it, and it's definitely really creative and really cool. It's going to come out, all of this will come out on March 19th, and of course there's no price for it yet. I believe the stage last time, I mean, the characters were free last time, but the stage last time was like $2 or $3 if I remember correctly. So I'm guessing this whole bundle might be like $5 or $6, maybe somewhere in that range. Keep an eye out for that. Here's something interesting, and I feel kind of embarrassed because the Wii Mini got a price for Europe recently, which is just blew my mind away, because I didn't even know there was a Wii Mini. Legitimately, had no idea there was such a thing as a Wii Mini, and it's basically a like 5-pound paperweight. It's a piece of shit, like the original Wii. It's way too far behind its time. It's just ridiculous. To point that out, to back it up, I mean, they did a survey, they being someone, and found out that 75% of British gamers think it's completely pointless having a Wii Mini. It's ridiculous. It doesn't have any GameCube compatibility, no S-video or component, no SD card slot, and no Wi-Fi. So basically, it's literally a paperweight. It's going to play the 2 Wii games you have in standard definition, and you have to be connected to the internet, which is fine because you can't really do anything online unless you know someone else who has it. So I don't even understand. The price is €80 in Europe compared to about €65 or $100 in Canada. That is not worth more than $100, more than $50. All right, you're gonna lose it. It's tiny as shit, probably. I mean, just why are you continuing to make the Wii, especially a smaller Wii? You don't need to make it smaller, make it better. That's what the Wii U is for. Remove all the Wiis, add Wii U's, call it good. You're still 6 years behind the times. That's fine. Whatever. Families will still buy the Wii U, but I don't know. That just completely made me laugh my ass off when I saw that. Wii frickin' Mini. Just whatever. They took out all the functionality for it and just called it good. Slapped the new price tag on it and said, look, new, shiny, families, buy this for your kids, it'll be great. In other Wii news, though, and I vented about this a few weeks ago with my buddy Eli from GameStop, talking about Monster Hunter 3U not having cross-region play. Well, apparently Capcom listened. Not well enough to actually give us a Monster Hunter on the PlayStation systems, but well enough to actually remove that barrier, for the most part, and add cross-region play between Europe and United States. Now, that's great and all. Definitely good. Love that. Love it when companies listen like that. Really cool. But I don't know why they're excluding Japan from this, or the whole Asia market. Because, yes, there is a language barrier, completely. But, if you have an option for it, if you're willing to go in there for it, that's going to open up a lot more gamers, too. And yes, I'm getting nitpicky here and complaining a little bit. But nonetheless, most people that are going to buy a Monster Hunter aren't living in Europe and the United States. They're in Japan. So you want to play with more people, you have to look in Japan. Just seems common sense to me. Apparently Capcom still doesn't understand the whole fan base of Monster Hunter. But whatever. At least you have more options that time now. So that's great. That's pretty much actually some stuff for news. Let's dive into some rumors here. Starting off, of course, with the Xbox. There's every day I get on and I'm looking through Twitter and everything, and I see that more people are saying that the rumors are true about the new Xbox blocking used games and requiring an internet connection. That's just terrible, honestly. According to Eidos president Livingstone, the new Xbox is supposed to have watermarks on discs, which only lets them be used on one console. What the shit? That's just... If that's true, that's so terrible. I'm hoping that someone finds a workaround for it, because that's bad. Again, we've talked about that before, but just, keep an eye out for the rumors for that. The whole blocking used game things is such a terrible idea. It's really going to cut down on the market, really going to cut down on people wanting to buy, these disc-based games, which is probably what they're pushing for. Everyone's pushing for digital, and this is supposed to be some sort of compromise between digital and disc. Because if you think about it, when you buy a game digitally, you can't return it. You bought it. It's on there. The perks apparently for are it's immediately ready, so you don't have to switch out the disc or anything. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean you should hinder the disc buyers. It's just terrible. And a watermark like that. That's tough. That's going to be tough to work around if someone does figure it out. I'm sure there will be eventually if this is true, but I don't know. In good news, though, relating to the Xbox, there's a rumor going around that the Xbox is supposed to be shown or displayed or a conference and announced on April 26th. Yes, it's a little ways away. It's about 2 months, getting up there. But nonetheless, that's close. That's coming up soon. You look away and it'll be here before you know it. And then we're really going to see a lot of the light shed on these rumors, and hopefully see that a lot of this stuff isn't true. But again, keep an eye out for it, April 26th. Sony has been hinting with their new console, the PS4, at charging for online in some sort of sense. And again, this isn't official, but they're hinting at potentially using a tier-level online subscription service, which much like the Xbox with the gold and silver. And this is really interesting. They could do a lot with this because they do offer already free network usage with the PSN. That's completely free for PS3. And so it's interesting to see if they're going to remove that completely, or if that's going to be like bronze, quote unquote. And there might be 2, 3, 4. There could be as many as 10 for all we know right now. But they're thinking about using it, and I think that's a good idea. As much as I love the free service that PlayStation does offer, they do also offer PlayStation Plus, which is really nice for those people that are really into their games, And obviously, what they would have to be careful not to do is to limit those that are on lower subscriptions. With PlayStation Plus, you really don't get any added benefits that impact your gameplay, which is really nice. There's no limit as well if you don't have PlayStation Plus to how much you can play online or anything like that. They just have to be really careful with that if they do this. And one of the things that they were saying an example was we have access to hundreds of games, thousands of games with like the top tier service, which could be a lot of money per year, but it might be worth it if you paired with this new Gaikai technology. You could stream like any random game you want at any time. That'd be awesome. Even if they aren't new, you have access to this huge library of other games. It'd be really sweet. So really, really cool idea. They have to be careful with it. We'll just wait and see. One of the other rumors about the PlayStation 4 is that it's not going to support CDs, and not talking like Blu-ray discs, or DVDs, but like CDs, like audio CDs, and that's really weird. It might make sense. I don't know, because it doesn't really make sense, but we have really drifted away from CDs. I don't know anyone that really uses CDs anymore. We all have iPods and MP3 players and all this other stuff. You could put stuff on a flash drive and plug it in and get your data off that way. But if they have a Blu-ray player on the PS4, why wouldn't they just incorporate the CD? I don't know. Little money they're cutting down. I mean, anything that saves me money from buying it, that's great. I'm not going to use it anyway. But very weird how we're really breaking apart from this whole disc genre or area, and going more to the digital. There's a strong sense of the push for it, and I think we're really going to see that impact the consoles as they more light get shed on all these rumors and everything. And just keep an eye out for all that stuff, because it's going to be interesting. And I think eventually, this is my own personal opinion, eventually they're just going to run all out, and GameStop, you're just going to go in there and you're going to buy a code, and that's it. Not bad, not good, neutral to it. Some things to keep an eye out on the store this week. And I actually have an Xbox update for y'all. Little late though, because Xbox this past week has had a huge sale in the store, and it ends March 4th, and this is March 2nd, so my bad. But huge sale, a lot of stuff on sale. So many random things. Just look throughout there and see if you want to buy something, honestly. Paired with that though, it's got some great deals on Gears of War 3 stuff. Just $5, $7, stuff like that. Just really great. 50% off here, 75% off for one of the packs, I believe. And there's I think 6 or 7 Gears of War 3 packs. So if you've been waiting off to buy some DLC, grab that now. That's your bonus for listening to this early. Go online to the marketplace, grab all the DLC you can. Also, Mass Effect 3 has some free DLC. It's the DLC pack called Reckoning. It's hefty as shit for being free. 6 new characters, 7 weapons, 2 weapon mods, and 4 accessories. Just a crap ton. And I don't know if that is going to stop being free at some point, so you might want to grab it soon. But it is free for Mass Effect 3. Definitely grab it. And I believe that's for 360 and PS3, but I could be wrong. I know it's for 360 though. For the PlayStation Store, some decent stuff on there. Starting off right away is Uncharted 3 multiplayer is now free to play, much like what they did with Killzone 3, except you had to buy that for less, but still. You can play up to level 15 in Uncharted, and you can keep playing if you want, which completely fun. Definitely, you are missing out on a few skills and stuff, but you can keep playing, and it will track your progress for all the XP you've gained. So if you do buy it, you'll get that all blown in there. So you might be like prestige, level 2, level 20 or something. You'll get, by the time you buy the game, you just grab it all, good to go. Keep in mind that Uncharted is a big game. It's going to require a lot of hard drive space. When you buy Uncharted, it's about 46.5 gigs, pretty sure. So if you have an 80 gig console, it's probably not going to work. But nonetheless, free to play multiplayer. If you're bored, grab it, because that multiplayer is a lot of fun. So much fun. We get a new thing, a few things for PlayStation Plus this week. Plants vs. Zombies for the Vita is now free, and I believe it was actually free a little while ago when it came out, or when the Vita came out, like about a year ago. But it's a really fun game. You all know what it is. It's on like iOS, and it's been out for a long time. Grab it if you're on PlayStation Plus. Just add it to your download list. Another really sweet thing is God of War HD is free for PlayStation Plus members till March 13th. That's the original God of War 1, redone in HD. Not a rebuild, but redone. And that's pretty much in preparation and hype for God of War Ascension. Because God of War Ascension comes out on March 12th, and it takes place immediately before/during pretty much before God of War 1. So it's a big market ploy to get everyone to look towards the God of War, but it's a great move, and God of War 1 is a great game. It was really different from the other God of Wars because it had a lot more puzzles in it, which is, I love puzzles like that. Obviously, all the action is still there, but a game that is full of puzzles that makes me think that's an action, bloody gore game is really nice. It breaks up the speed of it. It's really great. Some other deals another deal that you really want to look out for, and it ends with I think April 1st, good through the entire month of March, is to buy $50 on the PSN store, you get 10 free. Now, if you act fast, again, my bad, but I've been saying this for a while, March 4th is the end of the PlayStation Plus bonus, where you buy a year, you get 3 months free. So that's $49.99. So even if you buy just a year of Plus, you can get some free stuff, get that God of War HD, get the Plants vs. Zombies, and you're literally 1 cent away from getting $10 more. So buy a 99-cent thing, Avatar or something, or 49-cent Avatar for all that matters. You get $10 back and you spend that on something else. And that's obviously cumulative all through the month of March, and it stacks. It's infinite. So if you spend 100, you're going to get 20. Spend 200, you're going to get 40. Stuff like that. I just renewed my PlayStation Plus the other night with the extra 3-month bonus, and I just have to wait to find something. Probably going to spend the $10 on the new All-Stars DLC when that comes out. Just great. More incentive to buy things, give them money, but still really good deal. Some reminders just to add to your calendar. Tomb Raider comes out this week, this Tuesday, and that's going to be a lot of fun for PC, PS3, and 360. Much like the Uncharted, it has a nice Uncharted feel, going back to Lara Croft's roots. Shows before, she actually really became like Lara Croft, the treasure hunter. So, really good game. Gonna have, I believe it also has multiplayer. Grab it, whatever console. It looks really great, and I probably won't be getting it right away, but I probably will rent it eventually just for the story because I'm really interested in it. But I just don't have the money right now because I'm picking up God of War, which, by the way, is my second reminder. It comes out next week, so get your pre-orders in. If you haven't pre-ordered it yet, you are out of luck because the collector's edition is no longer able to be pre-ordered, so you don't get your bonus stuff for it, which is just some statues, a really awesome Kratos statue, steelbook case, and a few, I think, in-game bonuses. Oh, a DLC voucher for all future DLC, too, which is big and very promising for that game. But you still can pre-order the standard edition, which obviously is really good. I put my pre-order in, and I'm going to pick that shit up. And if you pre-order through GameStop, you get like a 48-hour multiplayer XP bonus, like 4 extra god skins, just another weapon, a lot of stuff actually for a pre-order, just a lot of stuff. So get your pre-orders in for that, and that game is going to be great. If you haven't seen anything on it, go to my channel, look at some of my God of War Ascension videos. I will be buying it. Might be doing a Let's Play. Debatable. We'll see. But that pretty much actually does it for episode 6 of the V podcast. Trying to keep it nice and short for you guys. I know the last one was like over 2 hours, and it got a little long in there, but that's all right. Not a whole lot happened this week, so it's all good. But next week, I have some more stuff for you guys. There's no community shout out this week. I got nothing really. No one's like doing anything. I'll still put some new channels in the description. My buddy Ghost of Sparta still doing pushing out a lot of videos. Just put up a new one today actually. I was playing Crisis 3, doing a Let's Play there. So keep an eye out for him and all the work he's been doing. But other than that, thanks for watching, guys, or listening. Again, if you are watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. But if you want to do this on the go, I'm also putting MP3 links in the bottoms of all my videos, so you can just download it and add it to your phone or device, and you can listen to it later, so that way it looks like you're actually working at work or something, pretty much. But again, thanks for watching and listening. Like, comment, rate, subscribe. Take it easy, guys.